Well, folks, this morning I cleaned out my cam. It appeared that the battery heads had some tobacco or it's not sawdust, but it was like maybe some dirt and some plant life, or maybe some tobacco. I carry cigars in my pocket, and sometimes they break, and the batteries get a little bit of tobacco, and it gets up in the compartment, and then it blocks the connection. Because that's what happened. My camera wasn't powering up, and it was losing power and phasing in and out. But today I gave it a cleaning, and so we're back online filming and be able to take some nice HD pictures. I don't think I'm gonna get by. No, it was crazy, man. She has a little car, I have a big ass Jeep. I have to get near the edge to let people by. It's really only a single lane road. It's not meant for two passing vehicles, and if you get two vehicles, it's tight.
Remember that trip yesterday with the views?
Yeah. Everybody's friendly. I've had over 50 people wave to me. Here's our plans. Here's our plans, everyone. We're going to climb along the Bowman Lake waterfalls, lower and upper, up on the ridge so we can see the lake from above, get a nice tripod photo. I'm going to drink a brew, toke a little, smoke a little, salvage this beautiful camping trip since my camera's working, and we're settled in now. We don't have to worry about trying to hang up a tent from a tree, and we can actually just go rafting, swimming, hiking, fishing, adventuring, and not have to worry about anything other than just enjoying what this place has to offer. The road's still bumpy. It hasn't changed since last night. I don't know what went in the cove into the water. I don't know what could have dove in the water like that. It was big. I mean, even a human would have made a sound that loud. Something really hit the water hard, unless something threw a boulder in the water trying to scare us. Sasquatch in this area are known to throw huge ass boulders into lakes and down hills. So I'll keep an open mind, but for now it's very sunny and I don't want to film into the sun. So next time I'll be filming will be when we hit the forest. We don't have any trail. We're just gonna hike out. We're gonna hike out to the creek. We're gonna cross a dry creek, hike through the woods, and when we get to Canyon Creek, when we get to Canyon Creek, we'll go ahead and start following it so we can see the waterfalls and check out any tracks along the muddy banks. Normally these are rocky waterfalls, so it's hard to find tracks. But I'll tell you what, I heard some vocalizations last night and they didn't sound human. A couple of them didn't. They didn't sound like no coyote or anything. And I'll tell you what, something was in that water last night. I'm not saying it's Bigfoot, but it was weird. And things can be weird and have a reasonable explanation. But something dove in the water. Whether that's a bear or some kind of beaver that's native to the Sierras, we may never know. We're going primitive right now. No trails, just heading off into the woods, trying to cut across to this creek so we can follow it up above the lake and go up on a ridge and see some waterfalls and so forth. Come on, Rocky. And you can see it is primitive. Be hopping rocks to go across this stream. There is no luxuries here. You have to do everything via foot. And that's the way it is in the Sierras. It's expected to cross lakes, streams, rivers, and trails. And my dogs will do it too.
Yeah, but I went on the deep side.
I'm going to go over at this rock and go across, but everybody can go their own way. You guys know what you guys can do and can't do. I know what I can do and can't do. Come on, rascal. Let's go. This is stupid. This is nasty. This is the Sierras. This is what you do. You cross streams.
It'll be all wet. My feet are just wet. Do what rascals do.
Okay, well you could cross there. There's areas to cross further up if you...
Oh, that's where I was looking at, but you came down here.
Well, then you got to go through the brush to get to those areas.
I see water beyond here.
No, behind you. You could go back behind you. Rascal, come on. I just crossed the rocks, dear.
So slippery.
Do you need help? Go down and help her, Jared. Can you? Because I just climbed up, dude, and just grab her hand. That's it. The gentleman's touch. May I help you? We'll cross. This is where I cross. See that rock right there? I leaped from this rock to this rock, and then I leaped again. It's like a 4-foot jump right there. But I almost slipped. They are slippery.
But the ones in the water are really slippery.
Yeah, they're.
Covered in algae.
Yeah.
That's what I was like, oh my god.
I know where.
Okay, Rascal. Here's what we're going to do. Take this little dirt trail up, and we'll go up here and cut across to the other creek. The other creek is on the other side of the hill, and there's no way really to get to it. There's a way to drive out there, but maybe it's through that camp spot where it goes around. But we can't go through someone's camping area. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be ethical. It'd be rude. Other people might do it, but I'm not going to do that. All I know is you have to cross the creek. That's the directions. It says, here's the trail right here, by the way. It says cross the creek, and then you could take a path to the other creek and loop around. We want to loop around the east side, so we don't want to go that way. Oh, wow. Welcome to the Tahoe National Forest. Woo! Rascal, come on. Stop peeing on everything. He's got to mark his territory. It's God's country here, folks. So this is what it's like to be in the middle of Tahoe National Forest. It's like a jungle. Cliffs, tall trees, firs, pines, and then you have a bunch of rocks and harsh brush like this that'll cut you to pieces everywhere. The dogs are enjoying themselves. It's fresh air, good time, got to work to get to where we're going. These are old wagon roads we're on. Like this is an old wagon road, just wide enough for a horse and carriage or an ox wagon. Look at that tree hanging. That looks safe. Dude, here, check this out. There was lumbering because we're near Sawmill Lake. So they used to lumber this area, but look at this, dude. This tree, this stump is huge, and then look, somebody put a rock on top. But this tree is held by rotted wood. That thing's going to collapse at any time. Look how strange that is. And it hasn't fallen in the high winds. How? That's rotted on the bottom. And look at all the rock formation. We're almost at the creek, huh? Oh, yeah. That's pretty wicked, huh? But you can tell it's lumbered. Look, those logs have been cut. See how they've been cut? And they're old as dirt. Probably from the 1800s when the lumberers had a camp up here. There's a lot of cut down trees. That's why there's newer trees here, because these are first and second generation. But the other ones are fourth generation. Trees are huge. The stumps are gigantic. Supposed to go check out these waterfalls. You know, there isn't many trails in this area. You got to kind of make your own. And yesterday, when I was at Sawmill Lake, my cam had broke. And so I was using a secondary cam, and now we're back on this is a much more better cam, sharper image. It can catch images in motion. And so we need that for Sasquatching. There are people that come back here, I'm sure.
I know we're what?
Go left. Keep going till we hit the creek. Once we hit the creek, we'll decide how we want to follow the waterfalls. But we want to get near the lake and the creek on this side. Then we can decide what we want to do. Go swimming, have a picnic, I don't care. Huh? What? That's where the road. We're going to the creek here. We're just cutting down. Like you can go take the trail here, but we got to hit the creek. The lake's right here. The creek's right here. The creek is where the waterfalls are, lower and upper. So we want to hit it from the lower part and go upper, which would probably be back See this canyon, the mountains, and then these rocks? The creek flows between the two. It's called Canyon Creek. You're mining, man.
Right.
Somebody did leave a pickaxe?
Huh?
These woods are thicker than pea soup. No wonder why Sasquatch roams this area, this region of the Sierras. I mean, you could actually picture a very large Bigfoot-like creature working its way between the trees, staring at you. I hear the falls, dude. Hear them? Hear them? It says you should start to hear them when you approach them. Yeah, baby. I want to see some waterfalls today. I'm excited. I'm like a kid when it comes to waterfalls. I just don't get too close because I don't want to go over the edge, but you can swim in the pools. In the summer, they're not flowing as like they are in the spring, so they're safer to be hiking along. So we'll see what happens. I guess we'll find out. I seen a track back there. There was no toe. What?
You hear them?
Who?
The waterfalls.
Yeah, they're close.
Loud.
I know, they're huge. Like 120 feet of waterfalls.
We go over here. No.
No.
Rascal, no. Don't think about it.
Rascal, stop chasing every bird, dude. Every bird. Wait till he gets bit on the nose by a snake, or wait till one of those birds pecks at him because it has babies and he yips, because he will. Hear him, dude?
They're over here.
Hey, that's good news. This is pretty primitive hiking. This is what I like. This is how you look for Bigfoot. You don't go on any trails. You just make your own. You'll have some strange stuff happen. Rocky, come on. Check for any tracks in the moisture areas.
That's a plane.
A what?
A plane.
A plane.
Plane.
Huh. Of course it's nice. Did you think I was going to take you anywhere that wasn't nice? You know what? Here's the thing about me. I got taste when it comes to outdoors. I'm going to always take you guys to the best places. That's me, though. That's how I operate. Look at those cliffs up there. Holy shit. Wow. My dogs are leading. They're the leaders of the pack now. Are those flowers over here? Holy shit. Watch for... Whoa. Here's the creek. Just got to find a way to hike along it. Holy shit. Yeah. Falls, man. Falls. Look, Jared, there's a swimming hole down here. Right down there. Looks like we found the falls. There's upper and there's lower. Might have to work harder to get up to the upper falls. I'm gonna climb down here. It's a little rugged, but what the hell, right? I keep going up and up and up. Nature's steps. Wow. Hey, Rascal. Rascal, wait up. I'm down here. Where are you? Yep. There's a trail right here. There's a trail. You go right down. It's right here. Go back to where the flowers are. Next to the flowers. Oh, no, it's fine. It's an okay trail. Just be careful going down. Right next to the flowers. You'll see me. It's hard to believe we're already here, man. It's waterfalls galore. I guess we took a little bit of a shortcut cutting through the woods. You're supposed to start at the mouth of the creek where the lower falls drain out into... The lower falls drain out to the lake. Careful. And then, so there's falls down by the lake, and then these are the upper falls. We'll start at the upper falls, and then we'll hike in the woods, and we'll work our way to the lower falls today, so we can see Bowman Lake. This is Canyon Creek Falls, folks. Well, here's the deal, guys. We're going to spend time at the... This is the upper falls. And when we're done at the upper falls, I'll take you to the lower falls down there. No, there's a path along here on the other... Huh? Ducks? Geese?
Oh, yeah. See them? They're walking in a line in front of you.
Holy shit, they are. Rascal, go. Rascal, no. Rascal.
Nasty.
Paradise, man. This is paradise.
Drink that water, man.
And the geese poop in it. Poop. Shit. And hopefully it don't bust a nut. Yeah, well, it's also paradise. There's a price to pay for paradise. Huh? Oh, okay, I'm ready. Wait. Now this is... Hold on, let me stand on here. Okay, I'm ready.
Alright, you ready?
Yep.
I'm doing it! Get it!
Is it a little cold?
Yeah.
Rascal's in it. He's about to fall in like 3 feet of water. He can't see how deep it is right there. So folks, we have two elements to this expedition today. One is these upper falls, which we're breaking and hanging out at for a bit, swimming, whatever, you know. The second one is the lower falls, which will require us to hike through this area of the woods here, all the way to Bowman Lake, where we'll search for tracks at the delta. So it's going to be a nice expedition today. This is the fun part of it. The other half of it will even be funner if we can get down near the lake. We have a good chance at finding some kind of Bigfoot evidence. Up here you cross.
See?
He can swim around. It's shallow over here. Come on, Rocky. Over here, Rocky. Come on. Over here. You can't climb there, dude. Wow, Bowman Lake Falls. So we're going to climb along the falls, folks. I don't know what I'll see or what's here, but hopefully it'll be damn good. I worked hard to get back here. Wow. A lot of rock scrambling going on. Wow. Whoa. Yeah. Wow. Where do I go now? Look at those flowers, dude. Shitting myself? I'm already shitting myself. This place is beautiful, man. And I'm at the top of the falls yet. I will be in a couple of minutes. Oh yeah. Holy shit.
Look at it.
No way.
Look.
No way. Come on, rascal.
See?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna climb on this rock and Tammy's gonna get my pick. Wow. Wow, folks, this is what it's like to stand up above. You see there's an upper pool right here and then a lower pool. But we'll still try to find some lower falls. There's some rapids down by the lake, and that's a good area to search for tracks. Beautiful country back here. Wow. That's a deep pool. It's nice up here. Sit down. Sit. Stay. Stay. Good boy. Good boy. I'm gonna be coming to you soon. What's going on, man?
Oh,
Those fucking people. What the fuck? Alright, my picnic spot is done. I'm out of here. I'll go find another private spot in the woods.
no. Right?
There's a hot girl on the rocks too over there. It's pretty steep. Rascal's funny. He climbed those rocks, dude. Straight up. Just to be with me up there. He wanted to be with me. Where are you going? I'm going this way.
Oh.
I'm going to check out the pool. Okay. Wow, that's deep. Can't even see the bottom in the middle. Woo! This is pristine. The rocks are real smooth from thousands of years of straight up erosion. Wow. It's pretty nice. It's one of the best kept secrets at Bowman Lake. Not a lot of people know about this, except the people who frequent and camp here. They know about it. Probably following the creeks and looking around, but yeah, this is it, folks. This is why I live where I do. This is why I do what I do. It's this reason right here. Makes life worth living. Very therapeutic up here. Now you can understand, if you were a Sasquatch, you could picture him coming down off the mountains, standing at the bank at night, drinking some water, maybe catching some fish. It's very possible. It's very possible. I mean, you see this creek? It probably, well, you know what's above this creek and lake is Sawmill Lake. And so, you know, these reservoirs follow one another at different elevations. So when they empty the dam, the water flows down into here and into Bowman Lake. So most of the lakes in this area are connected, and they let so much water out a day. so the creeks don't dry up. This is always flowing. In the middle of July, this is flowing. It's gorgeous here. Truly a phenomenal place. If you happen to come up to Bowman Lake, make sure you check out the falls. Because I'm telling you right now, it's well worth checking out. You have to cut through the woods. There is no trails back here. There's a few animal trails you can take, and when you hear the falls, you just follow it over to this creek and just follow it up to the falls. This is upper falls. I think this is lower, and then if you go further, you can hit the lake. Can't tell. There's a lot of people here. There was nobody here earlier, and then I spent about half hour up here and climbing around, and I look and there's a bunch of people standing at my break spot, so it's probably time to move on. I'm not gonna stay here too long, and I'll go somewhere else where it's a little quieter. I'll go sit on the lake and I'll do another history video for everyone. I'd rather do it at Bowman Lake since the history pertains to it. There's not a lot of history with the falls, except they're beautiful, and probably a lot of miners and a lot of pioneers probably came here to do their laundry right at the base of the falls or take a swim. Huh? Is there? There might be a... Oh yeah? There's always hot girls out here. This is the place to see them, believe it or not. Don't go to the city of Reno or anything like that. Just come out in the middle of the wilderness and you'll see like mermaids and shit.
Right.
You'll be like, oh my God. That's what I'm saying. You'll see friggin' beauties everywhere. Whoa! Holy shit, dude. That whole tree just moved.
I walked down this too.
Dude, it was like a teeter-totter. I stepped down and the whole damn tree was started to move. Dude, there's like mountain lion shit here.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit. No Bigfoot shit, though.
That's bad. Don't twist it.
I know. Holy shit. Is this hot blonde your age or my age?
Your age.
My age? I am old. I stand no chance in God's green earth. Yeah. With the kids?
Yeah.
Oh, I see her. She doesn't see me. But that's okay. That's a married woman. We don't hit on married women. We like the single ones that are pure and simple.
Yeah.
That I can welcome to the dark side. Show them the dark side. I'm Lord Rick. If you are not a pure virgin, you cannot enter my dark side.
So slow.
Come to the dark side. We have Bigfoot. You know, what female's gonna go for that? Almost slipped, dude.
Ate it.
Gotta get my footing. No. I'm pretty fast, dude. And I'm back. Well, it was an experience of a lifetime.
There's a waterfall like this, but it's completely smooth.
Huh?
And you can use it, it's like a natural water slide.
Get out. Really?
Yeah, the gentleman in the red shirt.
I have to go find that out. Go water sliding.
I asked him, he said it's like kind of in between Grass Valley and Maryville.
Guess what waits at the very top up there?
What?
A huge 10-foot deep pool of
Oh, you told
clear
me
water.
that, yeah.
It's paradise up there. It's not hard to climb. If you would have went with me, there's a flat place to set up the tripod. We could have all got a nice photo of the falls. But I don't think you really want to climb big rocks. Me, I can jump them.
It's hard for rocks.
If you get over there, though, there's a path kind of up. And then, you know where me and Rasko are sitting? You can climb the side of the rocks right here, where I was standing way up there. and Rascal climbed straight up and wanted to be with me up at the top. It overlooks the whole waterfall. But you got to be careful. There's only like 8 feet of space. So if you get too close, you could fall off and take a head first into the falls. So
Yeah, see, I don't know.
no, it's safe. Only if you get on those the rock I was on. I don't know where the rock is. I can't see it.
I'm just saying,
That big rock?
If you slip and fall, you go right into the waterfall. And you're like, but it's safe.
No, right here. That middle rock right there is where me and Rascal were on, right? And you climb on the side, there's like a log, and you can stand on top of that rock, but it's narrow. But you can sit up there and it overlooks the whole falls below, and behind you, like 20 feet away, there's huge falls that drop off right back there. And it's gorgeous. There's a deep pool. Rascal was sitting up there just happy, just lying next to me.
He came back before both of you guys.
That's because he's seen the people coming in, and they wanted to check on you. He's guarding you is what he's doing. See him? It's like, I'm going to make sure you're safe. Yeah, he went straight up the rock. He went straight up the smooth rocks, and I turn around, I'm taking pics and filming, and he's standing next to me on the rock looking. Yeah. It's like, wow. Whoa. Careful. Whoa.
Where are we going now?
Crossing. Gonna go in the woods and go up to the lake, the primitive side of the lake. So we can have a nice little break spot there, a nice little, nice hike. We gotta figure out how to cross. There's gotta be a good way to cross. I don't care if I get my feet wet, really. Doesn't matter to me, as long as I don't fall. Right here? Then how are you going to get across? I'm thinking crossing here is better. Because over here, there's nothing. Do you see anything? We can't. Dude, Tammy can't. What's over there? All right, Rocky. I hope you're ready to cross. Look at Rascal. He's like, I'll just go in. Come on, Rascal. Yeah. Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Holy shit. It didn't get wet, did it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure got wet. The rocks are a little slippery.
Very slippery. You're almost better walking into one than on the rock.
Whoa. Very. Wow.
Because we were up here a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
She slipped underwater right here and busted her ankle.
Oh my god.
My brother and I tried to carry her out. We made the long story short. CHP had to come in and land up there and send the guy down to get her stable. And then they hovered right here and they airlifted her out of here.
Well, yeah.
So it was amazing.
This was fun.
Yeah. I only slipped once. No, she just fell forward and then got caught herself with her hands. Your camera didn't get too wet. I would dry it though with your shirt.
My shirt's soaked. Turn your face.
Come here. that was intense. It happens. I slipped. What? You'll live. I got a couple.
I'm so shaky right now.
You caught yourself, right? That's good. You at least know to catch yourself. Most people end up falling on their face.
Yeah.
You at least caught yourself. It looked like what you did is slipped, and then your toe caught the rock and you went right over, man.
No, I couldn't get grip.
Yeah.
My feet just kept slipping. Every step I took. These shoes are not made to walk in water.
No. I got better grip than you, but my shoes are worn from hiking, so I was slipping on the rocks. What I did is I stepped in the water, held the rocks with my hands, and slowly crossed. We're hiking the Bowman Lake. You can see we're in the forest, folks. It's a lot of rock. Some of this rock contains gold. And so the miners came up here in the mid-1800s to mine the quartz. You wouldn't think that there would be mines in such a secluded place like this, but truthfully there is mines. There's a little trail too, animal trail. No, this is the beginning of the lake, yes. And you wouldn't think that people would come back here and try to make a life for themselves, but they did. And so there is a little bit of evidence remaining, not much, of these early settlements. The falls has always been here even when the natives were here, and so many miners, pioneers, and Native Americans probably thought of this place as very sacred and a secret. Yes and no, and probably thought of it as a hidden gem of Bowman Lake in the region, and it is. It really is a hidden gem. So we're almost at the lake. Try to get away from people and humans so we can go ahead and kind of do our own thing back here. Love to get a shot above, but that would require a nice peak climb, which I'd be willing to do, just we need more time for an expedition such as that. Good place to search for tracks would be back in this region. There's a fire pit back here. So people have camped here. Another little creek up in here. Wow. Keep coming, guys. Wow, this water feels so good. We're walking over here. It's not slippery, dude. It's not slippery. There's no algae here. Feels good. You see where I am? Just cross diagonally, dude. There's no slippery rocks. I already tested it. And it feels good. It's nice and cool. This is the inlet for Canyon Creek right here, the delta. All I can say is wow. There are some best kept gems out here. And we have a very primitive shoreline. It's the delta for the creek. Right in here. In the fucking jungle, man. Well, if you would have took the way I would have took. You can cross the log. You're a balance. You can balance good. Huh. Rascal, stay. Rascal, Rocky, come on. Be careful. I don't know. Jared, how does she get down? I can't see.
Keep on going until you meet that log.
She can sit, right? And go down onto the log?
Dudes, you're getting on my fucking nerves, dogs.
Help her, Jared. There you go.
Yeah, here, take this. Yeah. Because with that thing on, I don't have good balance. Because you feel like it.
Makes you topple over.
Because of a, that's not the problem. The problem is my shoes, when they're wet here, are slippery. So even without the algae, my feet would still be slipping on those rocks.
Nah, those are good rocks, man. They're hard rocks. They're good to walk across. This is Lord Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society. We are on the hunt for Sasquatch, America's great ape, or as they call it, the North American rock ape. Has a lot of different names. Every tribal culture in the U.S. has about a name for it. I've seen at least 100 different names for this creature, and this is the area it roams. Whether we'll find any tracks or have a sighting, that's another whole story. Jared, I'm going to go look over here. But we're trying to get above Bowman Lake in the creekside area. Yep, see the island? Here we go. Wow. It's pretty down here. It's very remote. You found what? Well, I want to get near the lake, son. Or a good spot to look at the lake. Is it? Here, just come down this way, dude. We'll find a spot. It's a huge lake. Wow. That must be Quartz Hill over there. Nice throw. One day we'll make a native out of you. Or at least a caveman out of you. It is important to learn how to throw spears. I mean, if you don't have guns to hunt, how else do you hunt? Bows and arrows and spears. You're on the trail. You look like you're dying, but you're on the trail. Your face hurts, right?
My legs hurt too.
I know, son. It goes out. Check it out. Canyon Creek. And then this is the delta that pours in the Bowman Lake. And then, of course, the falls are just around the corner. The falls run up these rock formations and cliffs. So, you know, we've already gone like a half mile. We'll go another 8 mile and we'll be up on this peninsula. Wow. Either to hunt or fish or whatever it is you're gonna do. Stay hidden from weirdos.
So basically, make my anxiety about climbing shit even higher.
Oh,
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know where that fell out at.
I don't either.
Looks like I'll be buying a hunting knife. Now I don't have, all I have is my pocket knife on me. Hope a bear don't attack. I'll have to take it face to face. I won't even have a knife to take it out.
I'm a stun gun.
Well, I'll take the stun gun over the knife. At least I know that'll knock someone on their ass. Right? Right under there, dude. Baby, there's a tree we can sit under here. If you can get to it. Do you need my help? You just got stung again? Get the fuck out. You must have some really sweet skin or something. Because they just seem to land on you constantly and sting you. I get them landing on me, but they never sting me. Maybe. It attracts them. What? What is that? That's alright. I just want a tree to stand near. Plus I want to see the lake, so I'm just gonna have to I'm gonna have to rough it to get to where I want to go. There's no trails where we're at. There we go. Woo! Natural air conditioning. Wow. That's where we're camping, dude. Directly across. Right there is our campsite. There's our tent and shit. It's actually somewhere over in here near the cove and all that. How cool. And right up there's Quartz Hill behind it. Quartz Hill is where most of the mines were in this area. So yeah, there is mining history. This is not just a lake. It's more than just a lake. More. The lake's been low for years, for 5 years. Until this winter, we got a decent amount of snow and it filled up some of the lake. And so like that, see where the trees grow? You used to be able to walk out there. That was a peninsula, and now it turned into an island. And it's very deep. It drops off 8 to 10 feet right here. I mean, so if people don't know how to swim, they probably shouldn't get near the edge because you won't be able to climb out. It's flooded because for years, they weren't getting no water. All the reservoirs were low. Man, it's windy, but it feels good. We're camping over here, somewhere over here. Pretty close by. I can't really give an exact location, but it's up in here. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's where we're at. Holy shit! I see our chair, our blue chair. That's our blue chair near the fire pit. Oh my God, all the way diagonal over there. I zoomed in on the chair. We're right across from our camping area. Now we can say we've been on both sides of the lake, including the waterfall too. I climbed to the top of the waterfall, so that's a little feat. Lost my damn hunting knife. doing it somewhere on the slippery rocks, but so goes life. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I know what I can do. I know what I can do. I can toke one and drink a beer.
But there's nowhere to climb back up.
It made it across, dude. Oh, yeah. A bush gave me a black eye, right? It might turn black and blue, but it just, your eye looks just cut. Imagine how my legs feel. Every year me and him go primitive, I get 100 cuts on my legs. I'm like, oh my God. And I go into shock. I get cramps head to toe. And I have to sit for a couple hours and rest because it's very painful. They want to get water, hun. They're going down here to get water. Rocky is. So you can imagine, I mean, the old wagon road. It's the old Bowman. They call it the old Bloomfield Bowman wagon road. It would pass this lake, which was a lot lower at one time. It was a lot lower. And there's been times it's been very high, like in this case, the trees grow in the water. But the pioneers basically would have seen the same, nearly the same reservoir lake many years ago. These reservoirs date back to the 1800s. And so the wagon road actually traverses the opposite side of the lake. I'm just camped directly across. But Lester Allen Pelton had built a wheel and revolutionized hydraulic mining in this area to harness the power of the water. And so, you know, when I took you to the falls, that's a lot of power. The rapids, the creek flowing really fast. And then I took you up to Sawmill Lake yesterday, and you could see the water rushing by and flowing. And so that's after they realized that you could utilize the water, build water wheels. That's when the sawmills and hydraulic mining in the area took place. Hydraulic mining is very detrimental to the ecosystem. It washes entire mountainsides away and into the creeks and rivers and minerals and pollutants. I mean, I've seen what hydraulic mining can do, and it was eventually banned because it was an environmental disaster. Like I said, ripped apart the entire sides of mountains, just washing everything away to get to that gold. And of course, lumbering did take place here at Bowman Lake, so a lot of trees are not as large as they should be. And they would probably have sawmills along a creek like this, harnessing the rapids in the spring to saw and cut across the lumber, and then the lumber could be brought via wagon up to Quartz Hill. This is Quartz Hill. There are mines up there, and you use the timber in the mines. That way you could build support beams in the shafts and the tunnels. So you kind of get the idea. Everything in this area that you see works hand in hand. The mines, the lumber camps, the power of the rapids. Oh, this whole area is historic. It's not just scenic. Yeah, it's nice to look at, but you got to understand that miners camped on this lake. Lumberers camped. They worked here for almost 40 years in this region. And now today, this is just an area for people to hike, fish, kayak, camp, and even look for Bigfoot. This is one of the top Bigfoot areas in the Tahoe National Forest or in the Sierras. Grouse Ridge, English Peak, Bowman Lake area. I mean, the reports that come out of here are amazing. I read a report from 50 years ago about a sandy Bigfoot print, about 16 inches long. And I found a few tracks, but they were really decomposed, so I couldn't photograph or measure them. But I found a huge one in the woods today, and it was very deep. It was just the front of the foot, and I couldn't see the toes, so I didn't record it or nothing. It was just very old. So I do believe there are things here. I heard something dive in the water. There was nothing there. I heard some vocalizations. It is a strange place, and people have experiences like this all the time, including I've read at least 3-4 credible sightings from a couple married couples who've been hiking up here and seen something just lumber off the hill, walking on two legs, look back at them, And they said, you know, 10 feet tall, reddish brown, long hair, lumbering, head sits on the shoulders, no neck, very broad, very large, very quiet, and cautiously lumbering between the trees, grabbing onto the trees, but not making a sound, because they are the masters of the forest. And you have to understand, Bowman Lake, this is Quartz Hill. We're camping by Quartz Hill. I figured it'd be a good place for the ghost and the Bigfoot. There's probably Bigfoot living in the old mines. And then they come on down at night, and then you got ghost of miners who died up here. However, this was an important, vital water source for the miners in the region back in the 1800s. And the dam that you see, I can't see it here, but there's a dam further down. It was built on the old Bowman Ranch and Bowman House. Yes, there was a ranch and a house, because this was not a very large lake until they dammed it off. It still existed. It was just smaller and trees grew where today water is. But back in the day, this was a ranch. Where you're looking straight ahead, when the water was lower, this was a meadow. And so yes, there was a cattle ranch back here, probably a sheep and cattle ranch. So where the dam resides today was the ranch house, the barn, the stables. And so when we leave out of here, I'll park near the dam and I'll do some video recording and some pictures. But I just want you to keep that in mind. They dammed it off for the miners and the lumbers who resided up at Sawmill Lake, Jackson Meadows, Lake City. I could go on. There's like 10 different ghost towns. Nevada City and Baltimore Town. And then you have Graniteville. It goes on and on. And all these dirt roads or rugged roads all led to somewhere. And today they're just a mecca for outdoor hiking and activities. Outdoor recreation like kayaking and exploring and off-roading down some of the really rugged roads, old wagon roads you could follow where 10,000 miners once took. And there was a mill. One of the first mills was built not too far from here as well. This is the early route through Eureka and Graniteville, through Eureka. It was called Eureka, but it's actually Graniteville. The Eureka is the original name. And then you go, there's a place called Marsh Mill, and if you kept heading down Marsh Mill, which was built by Charles Marsh, there was the Bowman House. And the Bowman House, like I said, resided here. When these were meadows and grass was growing here, there was a nice ranch house. And a lot of these reservoirs were in larger lakes, and so a lot of these ranches ended up disappearing because, you know, the government or the people who would build these towns would be like, you know, we need a water source. You're going to lose your property. We need to dam it off. They dam off these creeks. There's 2 creeks, 3 creeks that flow through here. They dam it off, flood the whole valley, flood the whole meadow, and that's what you get here. And that's what you're seeing, basically. And so, yeah, there's scenic beauty, but there's also a lot of man had a lot of intervention in the area in altering the region's landscape. It's a pretty cool place. I'm glad to be here. But this was a hydraulic mining area. Not too far from here in North Bloomfield and Graniteville area, they did a lot of hydraulic mining. Actually, there's a place called Malakoff Diggings. Some people live up there. It's a semi-ghost town, state historic park. You can see a lot of mining history. It's like a museum outdoors. It's not far from here. However, there was a lot of hydraulic mining, and then people realized they could go to the creeks, mine the placer gold, or go up on these mountainsides and find gold along the cliffs, such as Court Hill, straight out in front of us. And, you know, there's just a lot of history, but you got to be willing to off-road. These are not easy places to get to. And I was telling Tammy today, yeah, we hiked through the brush and climbed over through streams and slippery rocks. You can't just drive here. You can't just walk 100 feet from the road. You got to push through the woods to see this area of the lake or those waterfalls. And you got to go down steep ravine, hit the sides of ravines and everything else. But it's so worth it. I mean, it's breezy. It's nice. We got a nice shady tree. The dogs are happy. We've had some good food, some good snacks, some good token. I mean, it's a good day. It really is. I'll remember this day for a long time. I really will. And there are some strange reports near some of these mining sites. Bigfoot. He still is up here, and the reports still persist. Now, I haven't seen much strange things, but I've had some experiences up here, and I could question them. I've also found tracks last year ago, not far from here at Meadow Lake. Meadow Lake, known as Excelsior or Summit City, was built by a man, Hartley, came up here in 1860, was a trapper, got involved in mining, and then from there word got out and all the miners came up to this region of Meadow Lake, and they eventually worked at some of the lumber camps around here and went to some of the mines that are found in these lake basins. Oh, Jared, where are you, man? Oh, I hear him. Okay. There was also not too far away a place called Bridget Waldron's Livery Stable. So there were stables. You needed horses, and there are stage stops. If you take this Pioneer Road as Immigrant Road, it'll take you to Meadow Lake. And there are an into the Hennis Pass where there were stage stops every few miles. There was about 30 hostelries in the area. Weber Lake's the only one to survive. Dr. Weber took in over 50 orphans or paid for their education, and he had a lot to do with the development of the Downeyville area. And some of these trails that you see, he helped build. He was in construction, was a doctor, and he bought a resort and a stage stop and ran it for many years in the 1800s, not too far from here. We have that on our site as well. It's a beautiful place, and it's reopening after renovation 2017. And hey, I heard some vocalizations up there, and some scary things have happened, some experiences. So this area is riddled with all kinds of history, but also strangeness. But Meadow Lake had it all back in the heyday. I mean, they tried to make the town therapeutic. They had a little ferry that crossed, Grand Plaza, mills, cemetery, mines. It's 900-foot dam, one of the first in the area, not far from the Weber stage stop. You know, it's just a great place. I mean, a lot of gold, not a lot of gold, but they did. It's very windy. Oh, wait.
They get you at the top of it.
But yeah, folks, the Excelsior Company took over when they found quartz and gold up in the high ledges of Meadow Lake. You see here, we're not on Meadow Lake, this is Bowman Lake, but the two are similar. A lot of cliffs and ledges, and that's where the mines were in the area back in the day. But yeah, I mean, Meadow Lake was one of the main towns not far from Bowman Lake. So many of the pioneers who came through here would also visit Bowman Lake, fishing or work at some of the mines and go back into town. But that town had 5,000 residents. And to be honest with you, it was a beautiful town. And you could take this road across from here to Meadow Lake. So I highly recommend Meadow Lake. It's good Bigfoot investigating. I found this secret hidden mining camp with buildings and structures in the woods. No trail or nothing, just cut through the woods and found it. I'm sure some hikers know about it. There are some off-primitive trails, but I mean, a lot of history throughout this. My point is, a lot of history throughout the area. You hike in the woods, you're going to find little shanties and miner shacks, foundations, and I mean, there's even some grave sites and such. But you have a lot out here. A lot. And, you know, this area dates back to the 1850s. There was over 500 buildings at Meadow Lake, and there was a few structures like the ranch that was at Bowman Lake. There's a few structures here, lumbers and miners living up here, and these camps, you know, had a saloon and a store and the basics.
Okay.
And then, of course, you know, you can go right up to the waterfalls. You continue up Canyon Creek, you can go right to Bowman Falls, or, you know, there's a little island here. You can go out to, they have multiple creeks, but there's another creek here that runs through. Bowman, they call it Bowman Creek, I think. You got Bowman Creek and then Canyon Creek. It's all right. So, folks, I'm going to take a family portrait picture. Jared's got the tripod we're going to set up. I just want to give you a little history. Tomorrow we're going to Graniteville. It's one of the ghost towns nearby. There is other ghost towns, but tomorrow we're going to go to Weaver Lake, then Graniteville, do the cemetery, visit some historic sites, walk around Wrights Lake, McMurray Lake, and then we'll head home. This is Lord Rick. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. We're standing on the shoreline, the primitive shoreline of Bowman Lake in the Tahoe National Forest, where Bigfoot roams, the sunsets are worth $1 million, and the adventure never ends. So we're heading out of here. We're going to make our way back. We got to cross two creeks, a peninsula, actually a creek, go up a ravine, cross the peninsula, and back to the Jeep. And before we do that, we have to follow the creek through the woods and then cross in the part that is shallow and narrow enough to do so without falling and hurting ourselves. Tammy had fallen, and it cut her face when she fell forward into the brush. because the rocks have algae on it. So be very careful. You want to cross these creeks? I'm going to tell you something. You gotta take it slow, and you gotta have the right shoes. And even if you have the right shoes, it doesn't matter. Slippery. Those are just some tips if you decide to come out here and verse this rugged terrain, which is virtually so secluded. I mean, you can see it's just, there's nothing out here, man. It's very primitive back here. Not only are you far from civilization, but when you start heading into remote parts of the Tahoe Forest just like this, where you have to cut through trees and brush, now you know you're experiencing some true desolation. I mean, this is rugged. That's why these creatures have existed hundreds of years undetected, these Bigfoot-like creatures. Because they can. And that's what it comes down to, they can. And when you look at what you've seen in the last 2 days of me filming, you start to realize, hey, this is, you know, maybe Lord Rick's onto something. And you may agree with some of my theories and what I have to say, and others may not. But I'll tell you what, there are things that exist that remain undiscovered all the time on planet Earth, like hydrogen breathing, worms that can survive in acidic without any oxygen, can survive in an acidic environment. Look at that tree, it's huge. And people say, oh, you need oxygen to live. And there's creatures that can adapt to and evolutionize according to their surroundings and adapt. And so these creatures, people say, how can these creatures even live or exist? Well, it's quite possible. There's plenty of water, there's plenty, yeah, we got to go up in here. There's plenty of water, there's plenty of food, there's plenty of seclusion. And so therefore these creatures can thrive for hundreds of years undetected, even in an area like this. Especially if they're nocturnal. You're not going to be roaming this place at night. There's no trails, man. So that's the down low. And hopefully one day we'll be able to get some solid Bigfoot film. I see the creature, I just haven't been able to film the creature. I've tried. Sometimes I grab my camera when I hear vocalizations or recorder, and there's only 2 or 3 and I can't get them in time. Same with sightings. My son's seen 2 Sasquatch at Burnside Lake playing. Goes in the tent, comes gets me, or whatever, and they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Just they're like, that's why they call them the mystical creature, because they just disappear as fast as you see them. Of course, then again, if you're the master of the forest, you can sit up in a tree all day long and nobody's going to see you. Also run off or disappear as quick as you show yourself if you don't want to be around humans. Wow. It's pretty overgrown back here. Like I say, not too many humans are going to come back here. Got the best chance of finding Bigfoot in a place like this than by the road or whatever. Oh. Purple flower. See, folks, Jared's poking some, you know, they have fungus and mushrooms and like it, and truffles growing out here, just to give you an idea of some of the species or specimens. And some may be poisonous. I don't know what this is, but I see it on a tree, bite marks, like something was gnawing. It's the same specimen. And so I'm thinking that the animals may eat it. It could be poisonous. Maybe it's not, since they're eating it. You know, people ask, what will Bigfoot eat? Well, he does eat truffles. He does eat meat. He does eat certain foliage like this fern. His intestines can probably handle this fern type of plant life that grows here. Therefore, yes, he can survive. And yes, there is water for him to drink. And it's fresh. It's not going to get you sick. It's cold, fast-moving water. So let's continue to hike through the fern forest. It's like a jungle back here. It's gorgeous. There's all kinds of bird life and fresh smells of the different plants. We're going to cross the creek up here. We got to cross a couple creeks, and then we can work our way back through another hilly forest and back to the Jeep, where we'll head back. We'll go to camp, do some rafting, swimming, fishing, whatever we want to do. We deserve it. It's been a rough day. A lot of hiking, a lot of rock climbing, a lot of journeying. But this is what it's about. And when I'm 80 years old, this is a story I could tell the grandkids. Be like, remember when I hiked through them fern? Look at them. Rascal. Wow. Come on, Rascal. There's Rocky. Hi, Rocky. It's rotting, man. Almost fell off the end. It just like pieces broke. Wow. Nice. Okay, this is quite the climb, even for me. It's past my nuts. I'm not. No, I tested it first and gave it a yank. What is that? A buoy? Gotta balance yourself.
Stay still. These are thorns on them with it. Let me see your hat. He's got me a
Feather in your cap?
yeah.
Feather? You're putting a feather in my cap?
Yo.
This cap,
It looks like an Indian now.
this hat was in the damn ocean.
Yeah, was
It
it?
was in the ocean.
And I saved it.
You saved it from the ocean. The tidal waves, the 20-foot waves.
You almost sucked me in, man.
You almost got sucked out to sea with the great whites. The risk we take, and then we wonder, what the hell, are we crazy? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? It's like, why did I do that? No, there's no trail here, dude. Make your own path. That's the art of Bigfoot research. Make your own path, right? I will. I will wipe my ass with that. This plant, folks, is natural toilet paper. Very soft on the cheeks and the crack and the butthole. And just make sure your anus is not allergic to it, or it's going to flare up, and then you'll really be constipated.
See that? There's plenty of these. This is what you use for water. See?
We're like the natives. That's what I'm saying. To do what we can to survive, and I can't believe I just wiped my ass with leaves. But they were nice and soft, and they had moisture on them, so it was like a natural wet wipe. Soothe the ass cheeks outdoors. You know, nature's medicine. Nature has a lot to offer. Jamie said there's some glasses here. Wonder what happened to the person that had those on. Maybe some broken sunglasses. We do what we can to survive. We're outdoors. You know, Bigfoot's going to utilize nature as well. So what happened was I forgot the damn toilet paper at camp. I got so excited this morning to hike that I didn't put a roll of toilet paper in the bag. So when I started hiking, I'm like, holy shit. So we happened to come across this area of the forest which has these leaves, and you can use the leaves to wipe your ass. Right, Tammy? Right, Tammy? We're lucky we found these leaves to wipe our asses with.
You are lucky.
Oh, those felt good on the ass. I'll have to keep this in mind. Better than toilet paper. And you know what? Biodegradable instantly. Look at these flowers. Got some good food at camp. Hamburgers, sausage, hot dogs, steak. Oh yeah, subs, all that. Pudding, Hershey pudding, fruit, strawberries. We got good stuff. We're going to have to indulge. Hopefully we'll put a nice fish on the grill later. Just turned on my camera. There was a snake here. And my son ran. So I'm looking for the snake. I want to see if I see it, but I don't see it. So there's obviously snakes out here. These rocks are slippery right here. Here's the falls. Somewhere I lost my hunting knife up on them falls.
Oh, screw it. It was scary because I saw it.
We're at Bowman Lake Falls. Here's the first pool, the lower falls. The upper one's higher, about 50 to 100 feet up. But this toke's for you, everybody.
No, it wasn't there. It was back here.
This is paradise. And you know what I do in paradise?
You're right.
I toke them up.
Go on, Rocky. Go on, Rocky.
This toke's for you. Bowman Lake Falls. So there's a snake in the water, folks. I can't seem to film it. or photograph it, but there is a snake in the water, and he's just been kind of swimming around. It's hard to get him. He comes out, he goes back, he comes out, he goes back. I'm taking an easier way. Less algae, but it's still slippery. See, these rocks are covered. Wow. The water's not still, it's just, it's very slippery, and you have to grab everything. But we cross one more creek to cross. Actually, there's 3 areas we cross, but the second area, the first area back, was dry. And the one area we crossed, it was wet in the beginning, so it just depends where you go. Some areas have still water, some areas the water runs constantly. Go to your right. You found my hunting knife?
It was the way the light was shining. It was like,
I was like, oh man, that'd be luck if you found it. I had to crouch down over here, so that's the way up, see?
it's kind of steep.
It's up to you. You can use the rope if you want. I don't know where the rope is though. I don't know. It's pretty steep for you. You can go up. You just gotta take it slow and go up. They'll go up, no problem. This is the ravine right here they talk about. Going down the ravine if you want to go down into it. Up here too. If they put a rope here, it'll be good. The pine needles are slippery.
Right?
Just go slow. It's only about 30 feet to the top. That's not too bad.
Go back, go.
Go. Go. Rascal, go. Go. Steep as fuck. I'm gonna grab the brush to help me up. Just grab the green. Don't grab the fucking dirt. Or the stem. See that red brush? The stems will never break. It's the strongest brush in the area. There you go. It'll never break. If you're on a cliff and you got nothing else to grab, you can grab that. It'll hold you for hours. Just a safety tip, folks, if you want to climb the sides of ravines like we're doing. It's pretty interesting what we do here at the Paranormal Ghost Society. But it's more, you know, Paranormal Ghost Society is a family. It's not just a paranormal group. I mean, we're a family. It's a family effort. If I can fall and you're be in trouble here, I grab onto the brush. This stuff will cut a hole in your boot. It's very dangerous, this red brush. This will stab you. People get stitches all the time. I've cut my leg open. I had 150 cuts on my legs. Me and Jer went through about 2 miles of this one time, and there was no animal path. We just had to step on the brush and go. I had gashes in my legs, bruising for weeks. People were like, what the hell did you do? Cut yourself? I'm like, yeah. If you go through this shit one time, that might be too many times. Let's just leave it at that. But we'll make it up. Your ass was showing. Sorry. The top's where the flower is right there.
Where?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see.
I'm seeing the flower. Maybe you're in the wrong spot.
That's the top almost. You're almost up there. It doesn't matter. Go forward and then go right. Jesus. One dog at a time. Go. Go. Go, boys. Go. Go. Go, rascal, go. You're gonna get cut up right in there, rascal. Go. There's the top right there. Sorry.
This isn't the way you came along.
Nope. Sure looked like it, didn't it? It's too... Rascal, no. Rascal, no. He's trying to go by you again. Here's the top right here. At least we won't be on the cliff. Holy shit, this is hellacious. I know. Well, because I feel it too. I can't. All I can do is try to move it aside, but it catches your legs when you... Me and Jared hiked through 2 miles of this with no path. No, there was no path. We just went through it. And by the time I was done, I had over 200 cuts on my legs over at Coal Creek.
Well, thank you for jacking my legs up.
Dude, they both look, they're the same, right near the flower. We just went on the wrong... We're on the wrong side of the flowers. That's okay. You can look all business orientated. When you go to court, be like, hi, I'm a lawyer. Kind of. I think there was a cave or something up there, man. It's hard to get to, all this brush. Wow. You know what I'm saying, son? You can pull on it, it'll hold your weight. But if you get it across your legs, you can need stitches sometimes. If you stab yourself with it.
Well, that's what happened here. I stabbed my leg. And right here is when I had the thing between the back and the front.
Let me see. Here's another one. Right here.
Yep.
What about the back of your legs?
Oh, God.
No, you're good. Just you got 3 cuts. 4, I see 4 maybe on the front. Like the shins area.
Right there.
Yeah, and the shit will slice you up. It'll also stab through your leather boots. We're hiking boots. So you have to be careful. We're lucky. We had an overgrown path, but sometimes to get to where we had to go, like if we were stuck across a valley, we'd have to go through it our height. And it would cut our arms, or not so much him. He wears long sleeves and pants. Me, though, woo, not good. Not good at all. Go in the shock if you get cut too many times. You can go in the shock. I went in the shock up at Maggie's Peak. What?
Let's go. Rocky. You good, Pops?
I told you we're going hiking today now, didn't I?
Can you give Rocky some? He doesn't want one.
He's digging.
I don't think he wants.
He's digging, dude. He don't want anything. He's digging.
For a place to sit.
Smart dog.
Come here. Come here. Rocky, come here. Come on. Up. Up. Lay down.
She's been, look, stung, cut, stabbed by brush in the face, fell in the creek.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, face first. I mean, she's had it. I mean, she's.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your face.
No, I mean, well, her face is cut up. She's got bruises from the dog climbing in the vehicle and slipping around. Because he gets excited to go outdoors, want to look everywhere. And then you got face planted by the waterfalls, and then I've seen you trip. I've seen you get stabbed.
I cannot believe this camera did not break.
Yeah, your camera hit the rocks in the water, and on top of it,
Got wet.
no, she went forward into some of that brush. That stuff you can get stitches with. It doesn't break. It's hard to
I
cut.
didn't even know I got stuck in
Yeah. Oh, and stung by a bee, and that's a lot one day. I bet when we get back to camp, I bet you can't wait to just sit back and be like, and drink something cold.
You swim and wet me, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank God. 'Cause
Swimming?
You guys promised me.
I'm going in that raft, dude. We're gonna sit in that raft.
I thought it sinks, because look up.
Like, I'm not bringing my camera. I'll leave it on shore.
Yeah, listen. Oh, it took me 15 minutes to get down because it really wasn't a trail.
I did it.
Hey, Jared,
I'm talking about
take this.
following him down.
Jared,
No, I followed the
Jared, can you hold this for a second?
I know.
Hold out your hand. Hold this for a second. Take this snack.
Oh, dude, it's my best favorite. Holy.
You can't get it. It doesn't take rocket science to open it. It's a childproof. That's for muscles, dude. Here.
Yeah, that's baby. Ah, get off of me! Ah!
Now rub it on your calf. Watch what it does.
It's lidocaine, it'll numb it.
You sure?
Yes, dude. Watch. Okay. It's just ointment. You put it on your knees or where it's sore,
Yeah.
and it helps it for not too long of a time, but enough to get you going. Like, good for my knee,
Block
too.
cream.
Well, you can block pain with it. Also makes good ass cream.
Oh, take this back.
When you get a rash, I'm getting a rash because my underwear got wet. You put it around the rash, then you feel better for about 5 minutes, and then you're like, I gotta hike more and irritate my rash. Yep, it's true. It's true. Yeah, the river's just up ahead. Probably about 300-400 feet. We'll hit the side of the canyon or the hill. You go down the hill, and we'll come across a way to cross the other river. The other one has some small rapids, but the rocks aren't as slippery as the waterfall area. I don't know. You know why? I don't understand why there's so much algae by the waterfall. I mean, some of the water is still, but it moves fairly quick. I mean, you see it rushing down. Straight down. Just be careful. There's some nice cliffs behind those trees. You gotta love the Tahoe National Forest. We've been coming back here. The last year we've gone here like 10 times. I mean, this is just a beautiful forest. We're not even near Lake Tahoe. The forest just goes far north. 40, 50 miles. It's just amazing. It's a very big national forest. Even has some giant trees that can date back to over 1,000 years ago. I mean, Tahoe National Forest holds a lot of gems. Tahoe big trees. It's a wonderful area. Very scenic. They lumbered this area a long time ago. Yeah, and there's nothing here. It's a big open area. There should be trees growing here. This is a seasonal lake and pond. You can tell by the way the woods aged and how soft the dirt is and sand. And this type of grass grows usually in marshland. So probably in the spring, this is a little lake. Good place to check for Bigfoot tracks, folks. Although you're not going to get tracks now. The ground's hardened up a little. So we're heading back to the Jeep. We're going to go back to camp, raft, fish, eat, maybe read some gaming magazines on the hammock. I just want to have a good time. Here's some older trees. Second, third generation here. Hey, hun, I want a picture with that badass tree. See this tree? I want to show Chammy these old redwoods or whatever they call them, sequoias. That's what I call it. You can tell it. Look at that. How big was the snake? Huge?
Probably that long.
Oh shit, just a foot and a half, probably. No, dude, I've seen huge snakes before. A foot and a half is not shit compared to the snakes in Florida. In Florida, they're like 15 feet. Natural, and they're in the park, just along the fence or the swamps areas. You don't want to mess with them, dude. Are those flowers down there? No, this. Okay. You can't even move it, dude. It's green wood.
I can't move it, my ass.
Oh. Thank you, man. Oops, it's like instead of eating dirt, I'm eating fern. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I don't have no sense of direction now. The forest is so thick, I don't know if I'm going north, south, east, west. I'll hear the creek, though. Just keep on. There's a little animal trail. I'll take it. Oh, yeah, I remember this. There's a little cave up there.
It stinks like butt.
Like butt?
Yeah, you smell that?
It does. Dude, someone took a hot, fresh shit. I smell it. You smell that? Dude, that's Bigfoot. Bigfoot shit, man. Dude, that's nasty. Someone didn't bury their poop. And it's not me. I left my crap about a mile ago in an area that humans really don't ever venture. That shit's lost forever. Nobody's going to smell or see that. But here, someone took a crap right by the trail, and I don't want to smell someone's crap. I enjoy the smell of the flowers, the wild flowers. Now I got to smell someone fucking because they ate Italian or Mexican last night by the campfire. It's pretty rugged back here, but it's pretty. Here's the trail. It's a little overgrown. I don't know if you'd call it a trail. There's a lot of animal paths, old logging roads, wagon roads, pioneer paths to certain lumber camps and mines that still exist today but are not maintained, and the trees fall and they become overgrown like this. Huh? Termite? Yeah, dude, I see the sawdust. Tammy is right. I hear the creek, guys. The carpenter ants, maybe. Termites. Huh? Well, the creek's up here. I can hear it. Depends how you want to hit it, though. We can go here, or we can cut down this way and then cut left. It's shadier this way.
Damn it.
Did you get bit? Oh. You scraped your knee on the stump.
Alright, Dad, here's the plan. We take a long day trying to follow the trail or cut right through the woods.
Yeah.
We do either one. Which one?
Look, it points this way. Look.
Should we just go down through the woods?
Right here. Look, there's a little animal path.
Yeah.
Leading to
Go
the...
down.
Okay. See how it points right here? Someone marked it.
I'm not gonna take
That's a hell of a trail marker. Thank you, whoever did that. Thank you very much.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one back there.
We're descending downhill.
Like I have another casualty.
Yeah, your legs are banged up and scratched. Compliments of the Mother Nature, right? That huge tree. Compliments of me. Blame me, yeah. There's a huge tree. Look how big that tree is. Fucking crazy.
Big tree.
It's huge. Wow. I just heard Bigfoot. You hear that, Bigfoot? It's a human squatch. Somebody's getting a little too happy outdoors. I'm happy, but not happy enough to yodel right now. I hear the creek. We're almost back. I remember this stump. I remember this tree down, too. I'll go down over it here. I don't have to step as high. Okay? A lot of fallen trees. A lot of logging was done back here back in the 1800s. Hell of a path. Looks like there may have been some woodpecker in this tree. And it's about to fall over. It's bad. It's split. Termites, everything. That tree's seen its days. Yeah?
That's how you do it.
What?
So, find
Crap?
take rod on your crack. So slap all over your legs.
Job well done. You know what the problem is with this, dude?
Yeah.
Not only are you're supposed to put pine needles on it so it's biodegradable because it sits on top, and guess what else?
What?
There's a little path.
Yep.
So now people got to smell the shit instead of them. Why couldn't they go off over by the rocks and brush 100 feet off? You know what that is, dude? That's called laziness. Saying, I don't want to leave the trail. I'm scared. So I'm going to go poop a foot from the trail. So everybody's got to smell the pork rinds I ate last night. Yeah. Look, there's a bullet. Ugh. 22. LR 22, I believe. Somebody had a nice long range back here. Somebody had the shits everywhere, man. Toilet paper. Crazy. Like I said, people are lazy, don't want to leave the trail. It's good to sometimes it's good to leave the trail. It's the best way to have a gander at the wilderness and nature. Wow. Are we at this peninsula here? Huh. I know, but I want to look and get a picture from here. It's a big open area. Oh, I can't get a picture. They're in the way. This was a rewarding hike today. Waterfalls, scenic coves, peninsulas, nature. I can never photograph them damn snakes. And I mean, the views, pretty views. We ate well, I toked up. Heard the ozone's patching up. Maybe global warming will finally go away. And there'll always be full lakes and reservoirs all the time. There's that tent camp and our Jeep's right a couple 100 feet past the tents. What? Jared's there. Tree's huge. Right on the edge of the creek. Not every tree was lumbered in the 1800s here. Most of them were, but some of these are pretty old. 150 years old trees, man. It's a nice old forest. The newer parts are growing finally back. It's recovering from all the Europeans who first came out here trying to mine and lumber this area. Rewarding hike today. Was earned. This is a road you can take. There's a peninsula that goes out to Bowman Lake. On the peninsula, it's a nice little view of the lake. You get a different perspective of it. People dive off. It's real deep, so they dive off the rocks and little cliffs. Right over here, it's pretty cool. Can't really see it. Yeah, because the forest is so thick here. Until you get out on the little peninsular island, then you can go out there and go swimming. Oh, I see our Jeep. Haha. That's a good sight to see. Still here. That's too steep. Maybe not. Let me look. Oh, you can go down this way. It's up to you. Or you can go down and go along that log, but there's a lot of brush that way. This path goes down and cuts right to where the creek is.
Alright, well, you gotta wait for us to get down on the top.
It's a little rugged. I'm going to have to help you jump down here. See, folks, there's these little peninsulas you can hike out to and camp on, and that's just another example. Careful. But this is rugged. We're hiking down the ravine to the Jeep down on I parked it on the creek. You'll see. It's pretty remote, but it's very rugged even for the Jeep and for us. Not just driving, but hiking in this area. I mean, the hiking here is phenomenal, but this is rugged. There's not good trails out in this region like other parts of the Sierras. However, you get to see a lot more if you're willing to take a few risks. And the Jeep's right beyond the brush and the creek. Here's the creek, Bowman Creek. And we crossed here. Okay, whatever.
I just skipped the rock.
Yeah.
Just skip the rocks, and that one pick up and climb up.
It makes it sound easy. Forgot the part of I'm old.
It is easy. And now take your craft, so you can climb them. So flip.
I'm across with some luck.
Rocky. Aw.
Rocky just ran after Tammy and went back.
Yeah, what a dumb dog.
Wow. Right? Land ho. Land ho. Land ho. I'm finally not on any islands or peninsulas. Land ho.
Is Rocky over there?
Yeah, he's behind you. He's coming. Wow, you crossed the creek. It was pretty deep. Look how deep it is. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go through. That's dedication, man. Look at him. He just swam across to you. Rocky swam across the creek. He's like, I'm going to cross and I'm going to get to my master. We're here. We're back at the Jeep. Does PGS rule or what?
Right.
PGS rules, right? Take you to places where, yes, where no man has gone before, right? Take you, go beyond where no man's gone before. Go to places where no man's ever been. PGS. Some men have been here for 150 years, at least the white Europeans who came here seeking gold and fortune, and the natives who sought out and valued this rich land, which was essential for their survival. So you can see the truck we just had. I kind of filmed it going in, going out, so you guys can kind of see what kind of backpacking trip and expedition this was. Not a lot of Bigfoot activity, but I'll tell you what, it was a hell of a journey. And it's really good to be back. That was a very rewarding hike, crossing creeks and going on peninsulas and islands and waterfalls and deep pools. A lot of nature, snakes, birds. Yeah. Here we go. Home sweet home. We're going to camp. We're going to eat like royals and do some rafting and some swimming and some good old trout fishing. Spend the rest of our day just observing, listening for vocalizations and monitoring the activity throughout the night for Sasquatch, which is very prevalent in this very lush forest that I stand before. This is Lord Rick. Say, dude, just gave me the peace sign. Everybody is so fucking cool here. And I mean, people respect one another. The problem is there's so much traffic up and through here because this is becoming, there's news articles, so the place is really growing. As opposed to years ago, I read some stories, people come up here, they're all alone.
Oh, nice.
It's just,
GoPro.
I got GoPros.
Oh, that's cool.
One guy had a GoPro and showed me the road up here so I could check it out and decide if I want to take it. So that's, you know what I mean?
I think you're looking at them.
Do they? No, man, there's a mountain behind them. I'm not looking at them. Everybody thinks, oh, they're taking my picture. I wanted the canoes in the picture.
You know what that rainbow is, right?
Huh.
Yeah, I do.
Flag.
I do.
He's
For
like,
the
oh,
shooting.
cool. No, sweetheart.
What? It's for gays.
Yeah.
I know.
It's the very symbol.
Okay, I'm not a pervert, girl.
Red lipstick.
I'm just a man off-roading. One trying to get back to camp and eat some good steak. Or whatever I want. We earned it. We can treat ourselves to some good food or whatever. We're almost at camp. It's not that far. So, folks, we're just about done for the day. Tomorrow we'll go to Weaver Lake, ghost town of Graniteville, and we'll also, we're going to spend some time at camp, relax, and have a nice fire tonight. I want to thank everyone for watching our videos. You know, people put videos on the web for me, outdoor videos, so I can see the terrain and the safety and prepare for these trips. Now I'm putting some videos out for you guys to decide if you want to take your families on an adventurous hike like I just did today with my family. So have a blessed day. I'll film maybe when I get back at camp briefly. This is Lord Rick. Check us out, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. It's a very rewarding hike. And now it's worked up an appetite for some brews and some good food. Peace. Yep. It's all rocks, man. Holy shit. Isn't that crazy? Woo! Our camp's right up here, about 150 feet. It's down right to the left here. I can see the cove. We got a nice calm cove to fish and raft or whatever in. We're lucky. Very lucky. That's the cove. It's like a pirate's cove. It's so blue from up here. Like you could picture a little pirate ship down there, anchored. You know what I mean? You could. Pretty cool. Oh,
Is it just me, or every time we go down this road, does it seem like it gets worse?
no. Everybody's so friendly. Everybody waves. Everybody gives a peace sign. Everybody. One girl talked to me today. She stopped by the other way and talked. I mean, people are very friendly, and that's where I like to camp and hike. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, this is where I would rather be. Because everybody waves, you know? People stop, talk to me. I had a fisherman talk to me, and that girl today. Here's a camp spot, and, you know, I mean, like I say, you picture a pirate ship out there. Now, folks, we're going to do a little rafting. I definitely have a nice beer while on the raft, or nice toke smoke. It's a good day. It's a good day. A beautiful day to swim on Bowman Lake.
Wait. Dad, don't fly too far.
Whoa. Got a, no, it's just a little snake on the water.
Is it the yellow and blue one?
Yellow and black, I think. No, it's not a golden blue one. It's just a typical, it might, it doesn't, it's not a rattlesnake. It doesn't have a rattler. It just looks like maybe a regular, typical snake of the Sierras that you see.
It's little, it's like a ribbon snake. It makes my legs feel good because they were hurting and now they're numb.
Yeah.
But trying to go down any lower, as soon as it hits my lower back or my belly, it's like instant paralysis
Yeah, I
or
know.
something. Like my legs, it doesn't bother me. My arms, I can pull down and get them all wet.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So folks, we have a snake on the water. This is not, there's been 4 different snakes we've seen out here, all different species. One was golden blue, one was swimming around the waterfall. This one has blackish gray on the back, and then down the other half is kind of yellowish. It doesn't have a rattlesnake, it's not a rattler, and it does not look like it has fangs. I just see a little tongue slithering in and out, but it's just chilling out. A lot of snakes can go in the water, so they are here, and you got to share the countryside with them. And then, you know, you got to be able to adapt. They're in here just as much as we are. This is their territory first. So respect the snakes. They won't mess with you if you don't mess with them. Peace. Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and not getting any results. I'm not going anywhere, dude. Alright, watch. I'll slow it down.
Dad always used to say, I'm like a one-handed man in a rowboat.
Right.
Dude, it thinks like poking me in the back.
Oh, did you just fart?
Totally, I heard that.
Farting, dude.
Yeah, it is. Don't try and deny it.
Oh!
We know you
I got so
better.
scared I crapped myself.
We know you better than that.
Now he's using the raft. You cheapskate.
Here. I'll go backward. I can't go anywhere, dude.
You're gonna tip. Just watch it.
This is hard if I'm not on my knees.
Right. Ah, Jesus. This thing's a butt now because of you. Listen. You're having fun, don't you?
Yeah. I'm getting pretty wet, but I'm having fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get the oars on the sides.
Yeah,
Go like this. That would be cool.
that would.
Pirates Cove, folks. This is the Caribbean. So this is some tropical island. It feels like I'm in the tropical Or some tropical area in this little cove, you know? Like I said, I could picture a pirate ship out there over in the water.
Yeah.
You know?
You're right.
Too many pine trees for a pirate.
Oh yeah.
I'm land ho.
Ugh.
You filming? Land ho. Land ho, dude. You want me to do it again?
The cap's on.
That was hard, dude, but watch. Just sit on the edge.
Yeah.
But I can't. That's what I want you, dude. I couldn't get out because my legs. He's going back in the water. Water snake, maybe. Wow, that's cool. So just recently, I found a couple more ropes tied to trees. There's a lot of little string, and so what I did is I ran them through. We have some loops in the tent, and I ran them through, and I tied it higher, and now the tent has much more roomy. It's roomy. It's a 3-bedroom tent, and the poles had broke, and just a lot of bad luck when we first got here. We spent 3 hours trying to get this make a makeshift tent, because I mean there are mountain lions, there are bear. I mean, I've slept under the stars out in the Sierras, and a mountain lion crap next to my head. So preferably we like to at least sleep in a tent if we can. If we can't, we can't. You know, when you backpack in or out, sometimes you can't do that. However, with sometimes poles break and shit happens, and and I forgot a couple poles, but at the same time, the main frame for it was the poles weren't working. So I had to I had to stake it down, then use a bunch of cords and use nature and the trees to get the tent formed, like you see. Got a bunch of geese here. It's very beautiful, and so now the tent's not too bad. You know, if I had one more rope, or a loop, more strands, I could physically do this, and then look, it really puts it high, so only a little it's sunken in, but it's not bad. It really isn't that bad. And so we got, look out the tent's window here. Out the window you got this view of this peak in the lake, this cove. Much more room now. Try to open the windows, let the breeze. Let the breeze on in. Sorry about that. It's a view outside the tent window. Last night we had 6 bumblebees in here, or bees, and we tell you a little funny story. This is the view out the window of the tent. Tell you a funny story. They were all up in the corner. We had to remove them, and I didn't kill them. Each one I removed with a piece of cardboard. Well, after removing them, the bees, 2 of them chased me and Tammy down. Tammy got stung. 1 bee chased me in the dark. 1 bee chased me in the dark for 150 feet. I ran behind the tent, through the woods, up some rocks. I had to get in the Jeep. They were acting like Africanized honeybees. And they could be. There are hybrids out there, and these bees were very aggressive. I mean, in the dark, they fouled us in the dark. No flashlights, nothing. Because bear in mind, last night we had this open. We put the bees out here. After that, when I came back to the tent and things had calmed down. There was 2 more bees, and I killed them both. I had to. I had no choice, because when I removed the bees, they claimed the tent as their own. So when I removed the bees, or according to the bees, they thought, hey, this is my hive. They ended up attacking, and I ran up here through the woods and around. I'd stop every 20-30 feet because I would lose them, right? And I'd standing over by the hammock right there, and all of a sudden it was in my ear trying to sting me. And then I ran to the Jeep. A couple 100 feet away, it chased me to the Jeep. And this is about midnight, man. This happened about midnight. And so these bees can see very well at night, and it tried to sting me multiple times. It got Tammy, didn't get me, but it hit me in the ear a couple times, and I was running and twisting and turning. So any bees in the tent now get killed. If they're in the tent, you can't return them to nature. You will piss them the fuck off. But this is our makeshift tent. They got a bunch of ropes everywhere. But I mean, look at this, man. Red Peak. Beautiful cliffs. Nice peak. Sawmill Lake is right below. If you go over that ridge, there's Sawmill Lake back there. There's 2 creeks on each end of the peninsula right here. There's 2 creeks. The waterfalls is right up behind there. And then so you got 2 creeks right around here, another cove. And of course, if you were to go around this rock where my tent is, there's another huge area where you can see almost all of Bowman Lake, including the dam. It's a nice area. And above me is Quartz Hill. There were some mines up here back in the 1800s. So, you know, you got a nice mix of history and scenery. This is Lord Rick. Showing you my campsite. I mean, it's not bad for makeshifting it, right? We can definitely sleep, Tammy, my son, and I, in here. A nice view from the tent. If you want to take a nap, you got... If you want to take a nap, you got... Or just catch a cool breeze, you can lie by the window and just look at the mountain. Use your imagination that Bigfoot could be out there. So we went rafting. I went swimming, rafting, hiking today, exploring, Bigfoot researching. Spent a great all-around day. Just had a nice sub. Just relaxing, toke it up, smoke it up, drinking. Some nice, I have some Powerade, some nice drinks up here. It's just real nice, real nice. And tomorrow, we'll be going up to Weaver Lake and the ghost town of Graniteville and finishing off this awesome, lush basin. I look at him, he stops.
Take him down there and put him to bed.
I don't know. He's hard. He doesn't even want to walk. He's so tired. Okay, sun's starting to set, so we're definitely gonna be listening for vocalizations and gonna cook up some grub, some dinner, some burgers maybe. Nice broccoli and cheesy pasta sauce. We like to eat good out here. There's nothing wrong with that. Tammy, I was too tired to go and get my socks, so Tammy is like, she's like, you can wear my warm fuzzy socks. My sandals were really soaked. This water is very frigid, so my feet were so ice cold. And so she's like, you could borrow my socks. And so here I am wearing women's fuzzy socks. People drive by off-road and see me walking around the camp in fuzzies, little pink fuzzy socks, you know. Pretty funny stuff. Welcome to the mountains. Do what you gotta do to stay warm. Who cares what color it is, right? But now I'm going to change and put on my manly socks and get my sneakers on and do some fishing and some grilling and get the fire ready as it gets dark. I got an update for everyone. Tammy found another rope, and so we decided to use it to raise the tent even more. Look at that. You can almost tell there's no poles in this, huh? It almost looks like it has poles. So I'm really proud. You know, we're a pretty resilient group, but family as well. And we utilize the outdoors as much as we can and everything around us. I mean, whether it's trees, rope that people left behind and littered with because they didn't want to cut it and take it home or burn it up. So we utilize everything. But this is a nice place right here. This is beautiful. Got the Jeep pulled up, the hammock. So I'm drinking some ginger ale. But you can see this is so much better. So much better. People laugh. It's like everything's makeshift. But it's just been one of those kind of trips. All dads. All dads and who are people who have braved the outdoors multiple times know what I mean about mishaps like flat tires, getting stuck, tent poles break and all that. Expect the unexpected, but always come prepared or be ready to at least utilize your resources or come up with some ideas. But look at this. And we have ropes keeping the entire tent up. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Son's sleeping in the room. Let's see if we can go peek up at him. Give him a little peek. Maybe spook him a little. I could swear I just seen the middle finger. Oh my God. That was sweet. That was good. I love you too. Look at that, folks. There's our raft. And I have ginger ales and water. Water's sitting in this little cove. The water's pretty cold in this lake, so it's a good natural, again, a natural refrigerator. That's what I mean by we utilize the outdoors. And so instead, you know, if the ice melts in the cooler or the frozen water bottles, which I put in the cooler as well, and then they melt and you drink cold waters. But when those, you exhaust those, the next best bet is to utilize the lake or these little coves and just keep it on shore. I had a snake on my water today. He was just like guarding it. Well, sun's almost set. Then we'll wait and see if we hear any vocalizations or anything else, like another creature diving off behind her tent here. Something dove in the water. It's like maybe Bigfoot's going for a swim. I don't know. But yeah, this is Red Hill, Red Peaks, looking ever so lovely. Beyond there's English Peak. The moon's almost full. This peak is so massive right here. Could spend a few days just hiking up in here and exploring the area. It's awesome, man. Sun's setting and it doesn't get any more beautiful than this. Cool. So we're approaching sunset at Bowman Lake. Tomorrow we'll go to Weaver Lake, McMurray Lake, and eventually end up in the ghost town of Granitesville to visit the cemetery. That way we have a nice mix of Bigfoot research and parapsychology work, or in simple terms, working with ghosts. I just seen a huge fish come out of the water, so I'm going to get my line in the water. But at sunset, Red Peak looks very beautiful. I filmed it yesterday with the other camera. Some good things happened today, though. Found my dog tags that my dog lost. My camera ended up being fixed. We had a pretty successful hike. Not a lot of evidence. But you know, you don't always get paranormal evidence. And if you do every investigation, then you must be faking something. Because there's blood, sweat, and tears to work for what you want. Especially in the Sierras when searching for this elusive creature named Bigfoot. Or known as Bigfoot and Sasquatch. So we'll definitely be on the lookout tonight for anything else that happens strange. You win some, you lose some. It's a great area to camp. I mean, right above us, you can't really see through the woods, is Quartz Hill. And they had a bunch of a lot of mines up there, up on the ledges and cliffs. So this area is a mix of history, mining, scenery, nature. Just has a little something to offer for everybody. And right now, this is the best time to get Bigfoot evidence or have a sighting is right before the sun goes down. They start coming out of, these creatures come out of their caves and they start coming, descending off these peaks that you see. And then you hear the vocalizations sometimes and capture a sighting if you're lucky. And if you check early in the morning in these remote areas, you might even get a few tracks. So the work is always ongoing. At the same time, who says we're not going to have a little fun and enjoy what the outdoors has to offer? And so the tent's fully, the makeshift tent is finally, I put a couple more ropes. It's fully standing up. Can't even tell it doesn't have poles. My cargo carrier doesn't fit, but I mounted it. And so we're good. We have a hell of a campsite. You see it's very large here, right on the cove. But these peaks are very massive. And they could take, sometimes a day or two to climb. You might end up traveling 15, 20 miles, 30 miles on a trail to get to some of these peaks. Because you have to start at the bottom, go all the way around through a canyon and around the mountain and all the way up and back, loop back down around. So don't take these mountains lightly. Some of them may look small, like across the lake. But I'll tell you what, they're pretty intricate. They call that Red Hill. That's no hill. That's a mountain, my friends. That's a mountain. It's beautiful here. And this is where camp is. We'll always remember this Bigfoot trip. It's been good. Drinking beers, overlooking the lake, fishing, hiking, climbing waterfalls, rafting, toking up along the lake shore. Yeah, it's good times. I love what I do. Nobody pays me to do it. I do it because I enjoy it. And the research will always continue on, and we'll come back here for more. Believe me. But tomorrow's the ghost town. Way we can do some work with some ghost and Bigfoot at the same time. Make it a little more interesting. It's almost a full moon tonight. Like I said, we'll be very vigilant. We'll be listening for vocalizations. Still be looking for tracks into tomorrow. I'll stay up late and I'll monitor the area. Unfortunately, these things take a lot of funding and work. If I could be up here all year round, I would. I guarantee within a year I'll compile a bunch of Bigfoot cast. But it takes every day going out and looking to improve your odds and probabilities of finding this elusive creature, which we've had many success over the years. Now we just got to work on trying to film it in HD quality so people can study its motions and movement. And we want to learn about these things. That's what we're here for. And, people are real friendly. There's a lot of kids up here, considering this is a wilderness area and very hard to get to. I've seen lots of kids. But I've talked to a woman, I've talked to a fisherman, bikers, dirt bikers, people on ATVs give me the peace sign. Everybody's drinking, toking, having a good time. People rafting, swimming out in the middle of the lakes. There are people up here. But it doesn't stop the Bigfoot sightings and the strangeness that occurs in this region. Like I said, there's room for everybody to enjoy this place, and Bigfoot included. And you probably won't ever run into him, and he probably won't run into you. But at night, it's fair game. These creatures do come down off the mountains, and they do look for food and water. So they come down the reservoirs, lakes, streams, whatever they can find. And there's berries that grow up in here. They might be picking the berries and eating them. It's really hard to say. We don't understand everything about their culture and their immigration patterns or lifestyles, or we don't know how intelligent they are, if they have the ability to cloak. There's just so much out there. New animals are discovered every day. We just learned that this jellyfish, rather than regenerate its tentacles, the scientists had cut two off, it just readjusted them so that they're all even, that there's no missing space, so it could adapt would swim it in the ocean. So we have a lot to understand. Some jellyfish are like aliens. Some of the life found on this planet is like it's alien life, but on planet Earth. It's just so odd. And so that's why I kind of think of Bigfoot. It's just an odd creature. It behaves very oddly. And so that's basically what we're stuck with, is speculation, until we can actually discover more about it and go out here and do research and find out a little bit more. Okay, sun's setting. It's time to cook some burgers. This is Lord Rick. Peace be with you. So far at camp, it's been very quiet. We have a smoldering little fire going. It's not much. A little lantern. couple lanterns actually. And I'm just sitting here looking at Mars. You can kind of see the moon through the trees. It's been very quiet tonight. Like I said, last night was a horror story. There's these bumblebees are aggressive, some bumblebee species. And they will attack you. And they were in our tent last night, and Tammy got stung trying to get out of the tent. They were trying to get her. There was two of them, and we'd run all over the woods. We were like screaming last. It was like a horror movie, running all over the woods. Tammy screaming. I'm like, get the hell away, you know. And we would stop. I'd stop in the woods, maybe 50 feet later, and I'm like, oh, I lost the bees. And then all of a sudden, zzz, it'd be in my ear. So I ended up having to hide in the Jeep for about 5 minutes. That way they back off, and then, you know, that's it. They fly off in the woods and can't find me. Or bees have a short attention span anyways, you know. But so far tonight, it's about midnight. We're halfway through our camping trip, a little more than halfway. And it's been quiet. Friday was really... I mean, there was a lot of shit, strange shit going on. Vocalizations, something dove in the water at my campsite. Tonight, you know, and then I heard some yip or some dog scream last night. Tonight, nothing. There hasn't been much of anything. I mean, there has been a little bit, like I heard earlier today, some vocalization before sundown, right before sundown. So, you know, maybe something, there might be something more to it, who knows. Hey, tomorrow we'll go to Weaver Lake, the ghost town of Granitesville. We'll spend a little more time here on Bowman Lake. We're going to play horseshoes, cook some sausage for lunch with some macaroni and cheese, or white cheese, and broccoli. So it should be pretty good. And I'm just sitting on Bowman Lake, enjoying the sun shining off. I'm enjoying the moon. Just hitting the lake out there just right. You can't really see it. This is Lord Rick. Tomorrow will be a new day. Hopefully we'll get some strange things, you know. Sometimes in my adventures I get all bummed out that I don't get Bigfoot tracks, and it turns out I'll check out my photos and I'll find out that I got a UFO or something entirely like a ghost in the woods. So you got to keep an open mind when you're a paranormal investigator. You can't just focus on one thing. Anything and everything can be strange, unexplained, or just baffle the mind. And so I want my mind baffled. I always do. And we go out to these places and we hope to seek out the paranormal. So I want to say good night, folks. Got a beautiful moon through the trees at Bowman Lake. Peace out. That's the moon over a red peak, or red. It's the moon. That's the moon over a red hill. It's a very dark night. I heard an odd noise back along the lake. So I came out where my fishing pole is just to get some water to put out the fire, and nothing's here, but it was still very weird. You know, in my spotlight, you guys can't see shit. There we go. The lake's right here. Jeez, I don't know what it was. It was very weird. Fishing pole. Everybody's sleeping but me. This place died early tonight. Some big fish in the water, but I haven't seen any come close to shore. Hearing the crickets is a good thing. When you stop hearing the crickets, they usually say it's when Bigfoot's close by. I don't know how true that is, but I've heard reports and stories from friends and on our website. I just want to say good night, everyone. It's been a great expedition within the Tahoe National Forest at Bowman Lake. I'm walking down here trying to get some water to put out the fire. They're experiencing heavy drought right now, so you gotta put out your fires. You know, cover it with dirt, water, stir, all that good jazz. The lake's right down here. It's very steep right here. But you gotta, you know, like I said, because we're on the edge of the water, but we're kind of on a rocky bluff overlooking the lake. Whoa, there's a fish. I hear something weird. Sounds like someone's coming out of the tent. Try not to fall in. It's quite deep right here. Back uphill. This is going to take some skill. Oh man. Walking up the side of this embankment. You guys have... It's weird. I heard some strange noises down there by the cove. It sounded like a grunting. I don't know what that was about. But here we go. Home sweet home. Just one log I was burning. It's a huge one. About 35 pounds. I cut it and picked it myself. Here we go. I've put 3 loads of... I've put ash and dirt. 6 gallons of water. It's very muddy now. No chance of a fire starting. And that's Fire Safety 101. Always put out your fires. And I just heard a twig break. There's shit out here, man. I mean, I'm animals, Bigfoot, humans, you name it. UFOs. You want to look for the paranormal and the strange? This is the place to do it. I'm going to get some Z's, folks. It's been a great night. Actually, it's been a great day. One more day on the expedition and then we can head for home.